Just to start off, I just changed it a little bit to the DAD part. The old one was text, just to show it to you with the two layers, top and bottom. Here's just typing out the font, expanding it with the selection tool, and taking a look. You can go into type to warp it to the arc and change the blend or the horizontal or vertical distortion with that window. And this will give you the selection for it. And I'm going to change the tracking, which is the lettering on all type, and the kerning is just in between it, and decide to make it all capital and modify again the warp. You still have the option to do that. Once you rasterize the layer which is coming up, you won't be able to modify the text. So you can either duplicate the layer or modify it that way. So just using some of the keystrokes, rasterizing the type using the command and the option key allows you to move the free transform around, and you can highlight or rotate that piece, trying to anticipate it. So duplicating the layer, and with that layer, that's the part that's going to have the motion blur. You can change the distance of how far it's going to project, also the angle. Go ahead and click OK, and then this is the layer that you duplicate, and then selecting them all with the Shift key and merging them with Command E, and doing it a couple times just to get a nice shadow through there. So it's kind of a nice idea. Just adjusting the layers, changing the one with a color overlay and a stroke of black, yellow color overlay, and using the eraser tool, taking away most of that selection. Now taking the lasso tool to come in there, and this time deleting it, this time selecting it and holding the Shift key or the button for the grouping option, and trying to grab all the shadow parts, and then taking a brush, saving that selection, and then with the paintbrush just painting black over the top. Make sure that you lock the pixels on that layer. You can try doing the highlight in the other way, but this is just the dark shadow, so using the additional part with the magic wand to get the insides of those letters, changing that, and then now just taking the layer that has the yellow overlay and giving it a bevel and emboss to give you that look to it. Here's just duplicating the layers, merging and putting a drop shadow down there with a lower opacity and a blur, changing that size, getting a screenshot of it, and finishing it off with that.